What's going on, Jerome's still here at the undisclosed location. Now, it's kind of tough where meet up with friends, have a good time, undisclosed times, and then when you're on the West Coast, you have like a 2 hour nap because your body's still on dad central time, but is what it is. Something that continue to roll along on down the line is Vikings OTAs back at it. TCO Performance Center Bar and Grill. We got some thoughts on some loose thoughts. He's loose. So let's get in. Number one. So still no Dalvin, Daniil, or Jefferson, and we could get some clarity on Dalvin as June 1st is coming up tomorrow. Could he be traded? Maybe. Could the Vikings trade him and take on some of his salary, a la Zadarius Smith? Maybe. Could he be cut? If they cut him, they don't necessarily need the space right now. And, June 1st is the same as after June 1st. So, they could just hang on to him and see what develops. And then they could also rework his contract and bring him back. So, I don't know at this point. And Kevin O'Connell has talked about, well, like we pointed out before, Kevin O'Connell and Kwesi have never this offseason said that, hey, Dalvin, we're excited to have Dalvin back. They've talked about doing right by him and all that stuff. But, Kevin O'Connell was talking about the competition, Madison, Chandler, and Kincaid in that backfield that he really likes. So we'll see. Daniil, $4.9 million is not what an elite edge rusher makes, and he's proven that he's still that guy. He stayed healthy last year. And could it be a spot where they have a 1-year Band-Aid extension or they up his salary this year? Don't know. It's going to be interesting because mandatory minicamp is coming up in a couple weeks, June 13th and 14th. And with the new CBA, it's extremely punitive and near impossible for players to sit out. Now, they could sit in or have a hold in where they just show up and they don't really do anything. But I don't really see that in Daniil's DNA or Dalvin or Jefferson. So we'll see. And Jefferson's an interesting spot where, Kevin O'Connell has talked about that he's hoping to see Jefferson soon. And, Jefferson is the reigning defending offensive player of the year. Obviously doesn't have anything to prove. But also, it's odd to have a player on his rookie deal holding out. Now, Jefferson is a completely different case because he's already that wide receiver one, and he's due a lucrative extension or eligible for one. So we'll see, like when the rubber hits the road and when things stop being voluntary, if 18 shows up. I hope he does. Addison sitting out with a minor injury that we talked about. I do like that Kevin O'Connell's and staff have been overly cautious with minor injuries, especially this time of year. It's May heading into June. What's the point? And also with Jefferson gone and Addison sitting out, Jalen Speedy Naylor has been looking really damn good. Video making the rounds of him toe drag swag in the end zone from Kirk Cousins. Also, KJ Osborne's had a couple nice red zone touchdowns. So 17 and Jalen Naylor are getting in some work with the top two receivers out. Brian Flores, flexing multiple safeties. I absolutely love to see that. And we said that Flores loves incorporating multiple safeties. He did it in Miami. He did it in New England. And Cam Bynum talked about how he's going to have more versatility versus just being a standard issue-free safety. Josh Metellus has been working in with the ones, where Josh Metellus is a great story, man. Team captain for a reason. Worked his way up from special teams. Showed what he could do in the Detroit game last year. And the ones right now are Harrison, Metellus, and Bynum. And now, even though Lewisine has looked great, people have been raving about how awesome his rehab has gone, and he looks full speed. I like that they're taking it slowly with Cine still, but obviously there's going to be a role where Flores is going to blitz his safeties. Flores is going to give pretty insane looks. Absolutely love it. Also, speaking of looks, we didn't put this as a talking point, but Josh Oliver and Hawkinson, they are using a lot of 12 personnel. They're basically using Oliver as like an extra offensive lineman, which he's certainly capable of doing, the best blocking tight end in the game. The Vikings are going to get nasty up front, and I love to see it, man. Also, you have players sitting out. Harrison Phillips, Dwayne McBride, still nursing that hamstring injury that cost him during draft season. Blacklock, Byron Murphy Jr. off to the side, although he did participate in a little of 11 on 11s. And then obviously Brian O'Neill taking it slow, rehabbing from that Achilles tear. And Oli Udoh's been filling in at first team right tackle. And I'm fine with Oli Udoh at right tackle specifically, because what he's played throughout his career, guard, no. Left tackle, no. Right tackle, yes. Ty Chandler's season, Chandler's been looking really damn good. And also, even though Madison is an extremely well-rounded running back, I do think that Chandler brings a little something extra in the passing game as a bit of a scat back. So Who knows what happens with Dalvin, but I would feel confident and comfortable with Madison, Chandler, Kinkenny, Dwayne McBride, etc. And also, lastly, this team is having fun. And we've said this before, where Kwesi and Kevin O'Connell are building this culture, and they really harp on that. But players, if you check their social media, they're putting out videos of them working out, especially during the voluntary portion. They could be working out anywhere. They could be working out on their own back home or in Florida, and they're here at TCO, and they're building some camaraderie. They're putting in that work together. They're hanging out, and it's beautiful, man. Plus, some teams opted to have workouts on Wednesday after Memorial Day Monday with that long weekend. But no, they're back Tuesday, and everyone's chipper. Everyone's getting after it. So I think it's something that's going to bleed over to the field. I think that you will see that coming in. But that's it. Handful of loose thoughts. He's loose. From Vikings OTAs continuing to roll on at TCO Performance Center Bar and Grill. Let us know your thoughts and our thoughts in the comment section below. Subscribe for daily Vikings takes. Want to support the work? Put a little something in the Venmo. But till next time, Skull Production Value.